Mac, how are we doing this week? Thanks for joining us.
Yeah, good. How are you guys?
So we're doing well. We just talked to Matthew Slater. I'm sure it's not easy after that game yesterday. You guys have been watching film, so we appreciate you coming in and taking the time with us here.
Yeah.
It's another difficult loss. You're 1-3. It's third year in a row. You've been telling us here on this show, you've been telling the general media that you think things are close. Things were getting better, at least going into Sunday's game. Do you still feel that way?
Definitely hard to say that because, you can't play like that and feel good about it. But I do feel like we have a really good team. I have a great respect for the guys in the locker room, and I just have to do a better job playing good football. And for me, that just starts with staying positive and learning what I can do better. And I know I'm going to fight. I know they're going to fight, and that's all we can ask for.
I heard you say at the podium yesterday that you felt like you had a really good week of practice leading up to yesterday's game.
Mm-hmm.
Where is the disconnect between having a productive week of practice and then what happened on Sunday?
Yeah, I think once we get there, it's just go play football, and for me, just stick to my reads and try and not have those turnovers. You take away those turnovers, and it's a different story. So I have to learn to do that better. I got to learn quick. Now is the time, and I'm going to put a lot of time into that and focus on what I can do better. And the guys around me are doing a good job. We're definitely working hard. So just excited to try and come out of this hole that I dug.
Mac, it seemed like the first two drives you were throwing the ball well, you were moving in the pocket well. Was there a point in the game where it sort of seemed like you just kind of lost your grip on the game?
We watched it, and yeah, just not good enough for me consistently, right? There's 4 bad plays, so got to clean those up.
You've mentioned before that you on these Mondays, it's never as good as it looks when you're in film. It's never as bad as it felt when it's a loss. Do you feel that way today, that after watching the film, it's not as bad?
I think just for me, it's just putting it behind me, but also what could I learn from it? And I've always done that, in the past, in high school and college, whenever I've had a bad game. And usually I try to fix those things or, adjust things that I think can work, and then go out there and do it better the next time. So I'm definitely not good, not good enough to win in this league with that, but definitely positive in the fact that I feel like we can make big strides.
What explanation were you given for the benching yesterday from Bill Belichick?
I think, just the way the game went. I mean, it just is what it is. And for me, obviously didn't play well in that game. So gotta do things better in practice. That's where it kind of starts.
So is it purely about your play, or was it about something more? Was it just about, hey, the game got away from us, or was it effort related as well?
I'm not really sure. You'd have to talk to him. I mean, we had a conversation, but I like to keep those private.
Okay, but but the conversation was about your play?
What'd you say?
The conversation was about your play, or about something more?
Like I said, I think you can ask him. It's just hard for me to answer that because I like to keep our conversations private.
Without giving away anything you said in the conversation, did you know that could be on the table, maybe like at halftime or something? Did you know there's a chance you might be coming out?
Try not to focus on any of that stuff. As you look back on it, it's just things that I can do better to not be in that situation, and it falls back on the quarterback, and just got to improve.
Was there anything, I mean, obviously the Cowboys are an excellent defense in the league. Was there anything that they showed you in pressure or coverage that kind of caught you guys off guard?
We watched it and feel like there's a lot of things that we can do better, and for me, really, it's about getting the ball on time, just sticking to my reads, and then not turning the ball over. So that's what I'm going to focus on.
Did you feel like there were times when you got away from your reads yesterday? Was that something you took away from film?
Yeah, I think, whenever you play like that, obviously something went wrong. So just want to try and move forward. And I'm glad we watched it, but at the same time, I'm excited to move on, go against the Saints.
Do you have a process for shaking off a game like that? I mean, I'm sure you didn't have a lot of games like that in high school, and certainly not at Alabama. But do you have sort of a process for it personally?
Just work harder. Just try and do a little bit more, and everything will turn. Just stay the course. It's just you can't get too down on yourself. There's a lot of football left to play, and I'm going to give it everything I got.
The television copy showed a quick exchange on the sideline when Bailey was going into the game and replacing you. What did you say to him?
I mean, we talk always on the sideline, so for me, just trying to give him advice, just go out there and sling it, and At the end of the day, we were down by a lot, so it's a tough position.
How do you think you played?
Good. Yeah.
How do you feel, I guess, you talk about keeping it kind of on an even keel, and how do you balance that, having that evenness of not getting too high, not getting too low, and still having the, I guess, emotional component of the game and having that drive you? I guess it sounds like a lot to control, especially when things kind of spiral like they did yesterday.
Yeah, for me, just staying neutral and trying to do my part better, and that will take care of a lot of things. So I know that's pretty much how it's always been. If you do your part in the offense, and the other guys got to do their part, and eventually all of us will do it together.
A couple weeks ago, Mac, we were talking to you, and you'd mentioned something about, guys staying later, working harder, putting in more time, and that sort of thing. That was a couple weeks ago. How's that sort of gone? Is that something that's improved, would you say, with the team?
Yeah, I think we have a really hard working group of guys, a lot of good veterans on our team, and got a great strength staff that really pushes us hard. So we just have to stay bought in and got to come together in hard times. That's what it comes down to.
Looking at your rookie year, you guys won 7 games in October and November of your rookie year. Since that point, you're 10-16, counting the playoff loss to Buffalo in 2021. When you look back to that stretch, last year, the beginning of this year, the end of your rookie year, is there a commonality to some of those losses? Obviously, 10-16 isn't what anybody's looking for. Do you see an overarching theme where those struggles have emerged?
I think the biggest thing is just for me to control what I can control, and that's not turning the ball over and being aggressive at the same time. So definitely need to improve in that area. And every game is different, right? You don't know in this league how it's going to go, so you just have to play each play, one play at a time.
Do you guys feel like you have a strong opportunity this week to turn the page when you're looking at New Orleans?
Yeah, it's a great question. Finally, something about New Orleans.
Trying to move it forward. I can tell you want to turn the page.
Yeah, after you answer a couple. But yeah, I think definitely a good defense. Also played against them, my rookie year, and they got a lot of veterans on their team, some really good players, good coach, very sound across the board. So definitely a challenge, and I think just for us, we got to focus on us. And for me, just what can I do better? Can I read this play? How? Which way do I have to start? Where are my eyes? How is my footwork? All that stuff. So just try and get on track there and go out there and play football.
You may be going into this New Orleans game without a couple of guys on your defensive side, Matthew Judon, Christian Gonzalez, both getting hurt. How big of a loss are those two guys that have been playing so well?
Yeah, Judon and him are just, they're doing a great job, man. It sucks to see that. Judon's obviously been a great leader here, since I've gotten here, and I don't know the extent of all that stuff, but hope they're doing good. Christian, he's come in and worked really hard. He just does his job, and he looks really good out there. So it's kind of a bummer for sure, but we know that there's guys that will step up and do their job as well.
Talking about New Orleans for a moment, Bill said after the game you're the starter. Has he told you you're the starter for this week against New Orleans?
Yeah, we've talked about a lot of things and what I need to improve on. So that's what I'm going to focus on.
Okay. And I'm curious, too, do you have, in your estimation, because there have been a couple of reports to the contrary, do you feel that you have the support of your teammates as the starting quarterback of the New England Patriots?
Yeah, I think for me, I just got to go out there and win some games, and that's what it all comes down to, is going out there, doing my part. I'm working hard. I know I can do it. I have to believe in myself, and I didn't really give them a lot to believe in the other night, but I will show that I can do it, and that comes from hard work and trusting myself and trusting them.
You talked to us a couple weeks ago about how you felt like it was a collaborative process between you and Bill O'Brien in putting together this offense, or at least that you had a little input in there. Do you feel like now that the season is rolling that that's still kind of the same process, or has it changed at all?
Absolutely. He's been awesome. I know we haven't put out a great product yet, but we're definitely working hard, and I have a lot of trust in him, and we have a great relationship. So got to put more points on the board, and it starts with me.
When you said that you guys hadn't played a normal game yet after that Jets game, I would imagine that Cowboys game wasn't a normal game to you. I'm not sure. But what exactly did you mean by that? What's a normal game?
Yeah, I think it's kind of the trend of the year so far, and it's just staying on track on first and second down, and I'm eliminating those bad plays that I had. So really it just starts with me and just throwing the ball away or whatever I have to do to survive the down and not make a bad play worse.
There has been the commonality of the turnovers, with several players across the offense. So do you guys feel like you have the, lack of a better words, the playbook of how to stop the repeated mistakes in that sense?
Yeah, I think what you emphasize is what you get. So I know a coach told me that a long time ago. So whatever you put an emphasis on is kind of what you're going to see improvement on. So we've definitely emphasized it, and as players and me especially, just got to do a better job with it. And the ball is job security, so I understand that, and really it's time to make action on that quickly.
What coach told you that?
I think it was Dan Enos. He was my quarterback coach at Alabama.
Nice.
Yeah. So
it's time now for our quarterback question of the week. It's brought to you by Northeast Men's Health, the experts in men's sexual health, with offices in Dedham, Marlborough, Woburn, and Salem, New Hampshire. You can visit northeastmenshealth.com. If we watch throughout the league, we see these fourth down, fourth and short, tush-push plays, if you will, seem successful. It's been 2 weeks in a row that you guys have been unable to execute that, including yesterday against Dallas. What have been the team's struggles with that play?
I think it's just you got to get the yard however you can get it, and it's 4th and 1. Just got to make it work.
Do you have a preference for the name? I know in Philadelphia they're calling it now the brotherly shove. Tush push has taken on a lot of popularity. Do you have a preference for the name?
Yeah, just quarterback sneak.
Quarterback sneak.
Yeah.
Okay, well we'll be aware of it next week if you guys run that again against New Orleans. Sorry for not asking more questions about New Orleans this week. We are a little fixated on the game yesterday. But Mac, we appreciate the time.
Yeah,
Thank you so much, and we'll talk to you next Monday.
All right, thanks. See you guys.
All right, Mac
Thanks, Mac.
Jones, as all our guests, joins us on the Harbor One hotline. We'll see you next week, Mac. It is interesting to get the confirmation there on a couple of different things.